Good afternoon. I'm Hidalgo County Judge Richard F. Cortez. I am the chairman of Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1. Today's board meeting is being conducted within the parameters of Governor Abbott's suspension of certain open meeting law requirements to the extent necessary to allow for telephonic and video conference meetings in response to this COVID-19, even though 4 of us are physically present here. Notice of this meeting has been posted online for at least 72 hours. The board is meeting by the use of Zoom software and telephone transmission, which allows two-way communication for members of the public during public comments. This meeting is being broadcast live and online. A recording of this meeting is being made and will be available to the public at a later date. I have 1:45, and I call the meeting to order. We'll begin with a roll call to establish quorum.
Good afternoon, David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Everardo Villarreal, Precinct 3.
Ellie Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge. That constitutes a quorum. Would you please lead us in prayer?
Good Judge, good afternoon. Judge Commissioner, good afternoon, everyone. Let us pray. Father God, we seek your clarity and your peace over all that is occurring in our country today. We know you are with us and for us as we gather to seek your counsel. We continue to pray for the judge and 4 commissioners that you appointed, Lord, to lead this great county of ours. We pray for our mayor, school board members, city council, police chief, district attorney, sheriff, judges, and all who serve our local communities. Strengthen them with your wisdom and grace for the heavy burdens they carry. May they manage their teams and projects with love. Keep their hearts pure and their eyes turned toward your face as they work in the interest of the people they are called to serve. We continue to pray for the first responders and their families. We lift them up to you, Father God. We ask for your grace, love, and wisdom be granted to the doctors and nurses dealing with the ill. We ask for your hand of peace and comfort over them and their families. We lift up to you all those that are battling illnesses, Father God. We ask for your healing hand over them. Provide their families with peace that you can only bring through your Son, Jesus. We praise you for the healing that has come through you. We continue to pray for peace over the families of those that have lost loved ones. Father God, help us to be kinder, more compassionate, more merciful. Help us to acknowledge when we make mistakes, and may we work not to repeat them. Help us to recognize when we have wronged others and apologize for it, and when someone apologizes to us, may we accept it graciously. Lord, help us to understand that being humble means remembering we're beloved children of God. Scripture reminds us, the more we seek you, the more we will find you. May we seek you in everything we do, and may we work as is working for you. Lead our surrendered hearts to the path of your peace today. We ask this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Will. Do we have anyone sign up for open forum?
Not for drainage.
Okay. Next item is the approval of the consent agenda. May I have
Yes,
a
sir.
motion?
Consent agenda,
Motion to approve.
Second.
everything's in order. We recommend approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 5A.
Yes, sir. 5A, approval of resolution recognizing the County Drainage Number 1 for receiving the certificate of achievement for excellence in financial reporting. We do have, last week, the Commissioner's Court recognized our team, the district and our team with this award, and we're very proud of that. We have a resolution here to the Board of Directors as well that Jaime will read, and I also have Ms. Briones and her team as well that I'd like just for her to introduce the team and after the resolution is read. Go ahead, Jaime.
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. A resolution recognizing the Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 for receiving the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. Whereas the Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 received the Certificate of Achievement Award for Outstanding Financial Reporting from the Government Finance Officers Association, GFOA, in Chicago, Illinois for the fiscal year that ended December 31st, 2019. And whereas the Certificate of Achievement is the highest from the recognition in governmental accounting and financial reporting, and its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by government and its management. And whereas when a Certificate of Achievement is awarded to a government, an award of financial reporting achievement is also represented to the individual or individuals, a department designated by the government as primarily responsible for its having earned the certificate. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Board of Directors hereby congratulates Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 for this notable achievement for excellence in financial reporting and applauds their standard of excellence in financial reporting. And with that, I'll pass it over to our accounting team, which we're very proud of. If I'm not mistaken, Judge Commissioner, this is the third year that they received this award. So with that, I'll pass it over to our Chief Financial Officer, Ms. Briones. Congratulations, Laura.
Thank you.
Well-
Thank you, Judge and Commissioners, and Raul also for the recognition that we achieved this award. I'd like to introduce my accounting staff. I guess you could wave. I'll start with Rose Abset, Alvaro Chuk, Mark Garcia, Jennifer Garza, Hector Guzman, Gustavo Garza, and Millie Rodriguez. I would also like to add that 3 years ago, when we first got the award, we'd had that task to do this, and that was Alvaro. Just want to recognize him and
Good.
thank him for all his hard work.
Well, congratulations again. Anytime that you're recognized for excellence, that's a good thing. May I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
It's good to see us recognizing accountants, right, Judge? Congratulations, Laura, and the whole team.
Thank you much. Thank you, Judge Commissioners. If I may, item 5B.
Yes, you may.
Requesting approval to assign 24-hour possession of district vehicles to District Maintenance Operation Director, Assistant Directors, and Supervisors during the 2021 hurricane season. We request that authorization. Obviously, during rain events, we want to have the flexibility for our lead people to be out on site first and assessing situations and so forth. So we ask for your approval.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item C, requesting approval of final negotiated professional service agreement number CHCD 120-0525 with Robert Kitchener, Inc. as it relates to professional construction material testing service on call and as needed basis. Dow County District 1 project subject to review approved by the board for negotiations on 4/11/21.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item D, requesting approval of final negotiated professional service agreement number CHCD 121-021-0525 with Million Engineering Group, Inc. as it relates to professional construction material testing service on call and as needed basis for Dow County District 1 projects, subject to review and approval by negotiations by the Board of Directors on 5/11/21.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item E, 1, requesting exception from competitive bidding requirements on Texas Program Code 262-02484 for professional engineering services.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 2, presentation of the scoring grade of the firms graded to the district pool of pre-qualified professional engineers for the purpose of ranking by the Board of Directors in connection with professional construction material testing, service on call, and as needed basis required Dow County District 1 projects. BDC Engineering, score of 98. Edith Engineering Group, 93.67. Alpha Infrastructure Engineering, 91.67. Will the board wish to rank as stated?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 3, pursuant to the board's approval, requesting authority for the Dow County District 1 to negotiate a professional service agreement with the number 1 ranked firm with BDC Engineering LLC for the provision of professional construction material testing service on call and as needed basis for Dow County District 1 projects.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item F1, requesting executive competitive bidding requirements, Texas Government Code 262-02484 for professional engineering services.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 2, presentation of the scoring grid of the firm is graded to the district pool of pre-qualified professional engineers for the purpose of ranking by the Board of Directors in connection with professional construction material testing service on call and needed basis required for Dow County District 1 projects. LNG Consulting Engineers, DBA LNG Engineering, 9733, S&B Infrastructure Limited, 9633, Alpha Infrastructure Engineering, 9167.
So moved.
Will the board wish to rank? Yes,
Second.
thank you.
We have a motion and a second to rank them as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 3, pursuant to the board's approval, requesting authority for Dow County District 1 to negotiate a professional service agreement with the number 1 ranked firm of LNG Consulting Engineers, DBA LNG Engineering, for the provision of professional construction materials testing service on call on an as-needed basis for Dow County District 1 projects.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. G1, requesting exemption compared to requirements under Texas Law Government Code, Section 262.024A for a professional service.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 2, requesting approval for the district to negotiate professional real estate appraisal and/or appraisal review service contract with Leonardo Garza Jr. and Associates LLC from the district's approved pool of pre-qualified real estate appraisers for provision of professional real estate appraisal service and/or appraisal review service on-call as-needed basis with Dow County District 1 projects.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item H1, presentation of the scoring grid for the purpose of ranking by the directors of the graded and evaluated firms submitting response CSP number ACD1 21-017-0519 West Coast Drain Improvements Project. Proposed additional 10x10 box with gate structure. Firm name Castle Enterprises LLC with a score 95. Gonzalez Engineering Management score 9224. Go Underground LLC 8927. Total Equipment Construction Company LLC 8249. The board wish to rank as stated.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 2, pursuant to the board approval, requesting authority for that condition 1 to negotiate a construction service agreement with the number 1 ranked firm of Castle Enterprises LLC, the provision construction service for the West Coast Drain Improvements, proposed additional 10x10 box with gate structure.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and second to approve. All in favor say aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. 6A, requesting authority to advertise and approve a competitive sealed proposal packet requirement specification and plans developed by the project engineer, Mr. Salivar from my office, for the J08 Drain McCall Road Culvert Crossing 2018 Bond Referendum Project 15 CSP number ACDD1 21-024-0616 RFB, including the re-advertisement of the project and the vendor responses are received and or rejected and the project is still required.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. 6B, 1, approval of application payment number 1 in the amount of $62,505 from Morwell LLC pertaining to construction contract ACD 120-065-1118. Project engineer Halfman Associates, everything's in order, recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We do have some items in executive, in closed session, sir.
Okay, pursuant to Chapter D, of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, we'll be retiring to closed session to discuss items in Code Section 551.072 and 551.074. I have a motion to do so.
Motion to adjourn to closed session.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we're back from a closed session, and we do have some action items.
With respect to item 8A, possible action on real estate acquisition, if the board so inclined, we'll need a motion to authorize administration to proceed as discussed in the closed session.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
With respect to item 8.1, Hidalgo County Drainage District number 1 versus Jesus de Leon, we'll need a motion to authorize council and Mr. Cecine to proceed as discussed in the closed session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Also, Judge, I believe I had to abstain from that.
Let the record show that Commissioner Fuentes abstained from discussion or any action on that matter. I believe that concludes all of our agenda items. Did we record the time that we returned, Valdi?
No, sir, Judge. And
We'll
so,
put that on the record.
yes. So, Judge, for the record, when we came back, it should have been 2:28 PM when we came back
Something
in.
like that.
2:28.
I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We are adjourned.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Well-
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, good afternoon again. I'm Hidalgo County Judge Richard F. Cortez, Today's Commissioners Court meeting is being conducted within the parameters of Governor Abbott's suspension of certain open meeting law requirements to the extent necessary to allow for telephonic or video conference meetings in response to this COVID-19, even though all of us are physically present here today. Notice of this meeting has been posted online for at least 72 hours. The court is meeting by the use of Zoom software and telephone transmission, which allows for two-way communication for members of the public during public comments. This meeting is being broadcast live and online. A recording of the meeting is being made and will be made available to the public at later dates. The time now is 2:30, and I call the meeting to order. We will begin with a roll call to establish quorum.
Good afternoon, David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Eric Cantu, Precinct 2.
Everardo Villarreal, Precinct 3.
Ellie Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge, that constitutes a quorum. Today, we're honored to have Emmanuel Vasquez. He lives in Edinburgh, Texas. He served in the U.S. Air Force active duty on May 2004 through September 2014. He presently serves at the U.S. Air Force Reserves and the Texas Air National Guard. He's a technical sergeant, rank of E6. He's a combat veteran. He was in Operation Iraqi Freedom, and he's currently employed by the Hidalgo County Veteran Services as an outreach specialist with the Broken Grant Division. Sergeant, would you please lead us in the pledge?
Attention! Right face. Present arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic on which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order arms. Left face.
Thank you, Sergeant. Next, we have the Honorable Charlie Espinosa. He's the Justice of the Peace for Precinct 4, Place 1 from Edinburgh. Judge, would you please lead us in prayer?
Judge, before I start, I just want to make a comment, and that comment is I thank you for inviting me into your meeting today. It's an honor to be here. I also want to thank County Judge Richard Cortez and all of his commissioners for doing an outstanding job on the COVID situation. I know that we are doing a lot better now, but I think that when it first started, you all just did an outstanding job. You all worked with your department heads, with your different departments, and you got things going. I know it's not over with yet. We still have a lot to go, but with God's grace, I think that we will conquer this virus. I thank you for everything that you did, and I keep praying to the Lord that we can be with those people that are suffering from it, especially those that lost a loved one. Our prayers are still with them, and we continue to keep them in our minds. Everybody, please bow your head. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, Father, we thank you for this precious day. We thank you for all the blessings that you bestow upon us. I ask a special blessing for Judge Cortez and all his commissioners. Give them the knowledge, give them the wisdom that they need to make the proper decisions to keep this county going forward. I pray that you give them whatever they need to help the people that are hurting at this time. Father God, please fill us with peace and understanding that we stand before you and pray to receive your continued blessings. Please guide those who have been affected by the virus and see that those most vulnerable are protected. We also ask that you offer your strength to those mourning their loved ones and other patients, to all those going through difficult times. Please continue to stand by those who are seeking help and offer them strength during these unprecedented times, as they may thrive in all ways. Lastly, Father God, we ask that you are with our judge and commissioners today and always, and offer solutions as they go to guide us, guide our county to good health and prosperity. In your name, Father God, I ask all this. Amen.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you for those kind words.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda.
Judge, Commissioners, with your permission, I'd like to pull consent agenda item 8E.
Move to approve without that agenda item.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, with respect to consent agenda item 8E, we are recommending approval of the membership dues, but it'll be subject to final review by council, legal counsel.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Who is the first member to sign up for open forum?
Daniel?
Yes, first, we have Fern McClurdy.
Ms. McClarty? Ms. McClarty, there is a 3-minute time limit. I will advise when there is 1 minute, and I will start when you start, ma'am.
I'm extremely glad to tell you that the governor has stolen my thunder. He has banned the use of masks and established a fine for those taxing entities that do not comply. It is important to say that this county could have done this without the governor's new orders. This county commissioner's court has taken the lead in implementing regulations that have permanently closed businesses, locked our public parks, modified social and religious events. Each week, you suspended your own policies to increase salaries, add more staff, and increase the tax burden on the 1.2 million people that you serve. The question is, why do this to the people that you have sworn to serve? The court implements those laws that it likes and ignores those that it does not. If the government says close non-essential businesses and made people wear masks, this court said, yes, we can. But if the governor says it's all over, get back to work, this court says we need more time. Our federal money, we're going to need more to spend, more time, and we need to help our hospitals. The only ones that have benefited from this pandemic are the hospitals. Now that should tell you why it is not over yet. You want to spend more money, they want to get more money. Now, in the middle of the pandemic that we will not go away, this court is trying to create another taxing body. You have sent staff and Senator Chuy Hinojosa to Austin to create a law that would allow this court to increase taxes on colonial residents. This law will not only increase taxes, but if the people do not pay, they will lose their homes sooner or later. Before, colonial residents were just poor. Now you want them to be homeless. How is that solving the problem? Take the lead and open our schools where there is a support system, and do not create more programs that increase taxes.
1 minute.
This county is spending millions on a courthouse for judges that nobody wants, so spend a little on the people that you serve. We are waiting for the next 2 years to watch how many businesses go out of business on East 107 when you're installing that big drain. And our new slogan is, if they increased your taxes, don't vote for them. I have a question today on 16C. You got almost $30,000 of care money. 17B2, we have a change order of $28,000 for square footage built for a park. And 17D1, could you explain what it is and why we need it? And that would be helpful to the public. And I had my hard hat just in case y'all tried to hit me.
Thank you. Daniel, do we have any more presenters?
That's it, sir.
Thank you. Judge?
Is that it?
Yes, sir. That's
Okay.
it, sir.
Next item is Constable Precinct 3, 6A.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. It's great to be here and see everybody in person for once. Today's the day that we honor one of our own, our Chief Deputy, who spent 35 years keeping everybody safe in Hidalgo County. He has chose to retire effective at the end of the month, and so we want to honor him with a resolution. So I will read it. Buck, will you come up? Chief Deputy Rene Gonzalez, Sherlyn. Whereas Chief Rene Gonzalez is being honored for his exceptional work and dedication to the citizens of Hidalgo County after serving with distinction and integrity for the past 35 years as a law enforcement officer. And whereas Chief Gonzalez first joined the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office in 1986 as a patrol officer, quickly moving up the ranks to field training officer and then a narcotics investigator. After 14 years, he transferred to the Hidalgo County High Drug Intensity Trafficking Area Task Force for the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office in 2000. And whereas in 2005, he returned to Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office as a captain, and during his 8 years in the department, he rose to the rank of division commander, where he supervised the jail and served on the administration. And whereas in 2013, he was hired by Precinct 3 Constable Larry Alba to Chief Deputy and supervise daily operations at the Constable's office. And whereas during his esteemed career, Chief Gonzalez has been recognized for this outstanding work as an officer, receiving a Master Peace Officer Certificate, an award from the FBI Law Enforcement Executive Development Association, as well as becoming a certified public manager to the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. And whereas the Mission Native and Sherlyn High School graduate is looking forward to spending time with his wife, Carrie, and the rest of his family. And now, therefore, be it resolved that Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby recognizes and honors Chief Rene Gonzalez for his standing service, dedication, and commitment during 35 years of service to Hidalgo County on this day, wishes him a long, healthy, and fruitful retirement.
Motion approved. Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Judge, Commissioners, thank you for the honor today. It's been an honor to serve the citizens of Hidalgo County and the state of Texas. First of all, I'd like to thank our Constable, Larry Gallardo, for hiring me and giving me a chance to be his Chief Deputy. I'd also like to thank my colleagues back at the office and here with us today, and all the law enforcement officers and agents, state, local, and federal, that I've worked with over the years. And lastly, I'd like to thank my wife, Carrie, mostly for putting up with this for 35 years, actually 36 years. I did 1 year with Border Patrol, and now she's gonna have me at home. I don't know what she's gonna do with me, but thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Absolutely, go ahead.
No.
Congratulations. Enjoy.
See you, sir.
You guys won't be seeing me
You want us to go up front?
Yes, I think they
You don't
extended
mind?
it.
You would like to, Judge?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So commissioners could go between. Judge, can you? I sure will. We're gonna go ahead and get the folder.
Where is he in the middle? Right him in the middle? Here? Oh, it's tied.
I'm just gonna see.
Okay, thank you.
Hold on, I need to make sure I see everyone's face. Yes, Commissioner, thank you. Okay, just place it there. Ready? 5, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Everyone smile, please. Thank you. Oh, your phone?
One more. I sent it to my wife. Look, I really did get it. I'm really retired.
Cover that leaky water faucet.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioners. Really appreciate it. Law enforcement, as you know, is a whole different ballgame, and we strive to do what's best for the citizens of Hidalgo County, and, 35 years is a lot. And I'm sure that when the sheriff's office, when he worked there, only had one patrol officer for the west and one for the east, one for the north, one for the south, you came across a lot of things, unlike what it is today. So I'll continue with the agenda here on 6B. Discussion, consideration, approval to appoint Noé Garza Jr. as Reserve Deputy Constable by Lázaro Gallardo Jr., Constable Precinct 3, in accordance to Texas Local Government Code, Section 86.012.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 6B, 6C, Constable 3 Irrigation District requests approval to continue payment from general fund for the employee currently hired under the Irrigation District 6 agreement, pending approval to renew agreement for the year 2021. This is almost a 60-40 cash match by the district to patrol the canalways and district property, which is out in the rural area, the Precinct 3. As you know, there's a lot of illegal dumping that occurs, a lot of crimes that occur in the rural area. So this is just a good partnership that we have where they're buying into not only battling their problems, but battling the county problems in the rural area.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
C2, requesting approval to renew interlocal agreement between County of Hidalgo, Texas, acting by and to the Office of Constable Precinct 3 and Hidalgo County Irrigation District Number 6, with Second Amendment agreement to be effective May 31st, 2021 through May 30th, 2022.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
C3, requesting approval for certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $45,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
C4, requesting approval for appropriation of funds in the amount of $75,720.90.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
6D, requesting approval for county treasurer to process payment for fuel reimbursement in the amount of $18.50 to Deputy Joan Moreno after auditing procedures are completed by the county auditor. Deputy Moreno paid for fuel expenses with his personal debit card due to county fuel card not working properly.
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, thank you and God
Thank you
bless
very
you all.
much, Constable.
Thank you.
And thank you very much.
Chief. Thank you so much for your service. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, sir.
Item 7A, Constable Precinct 5.
Judge, Commissioners, with your permission, if I may, for Constable Precinct 5, Constable Marichalar. This is their STEP program, Fund 1284. First action item is authority for the county judge to sign the TxDOT Form 2433 Internal Compliance Program Certification. And the second action item would be the authority for Constable Precinct 5 to submit signed document to TxDOT.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I'm sorry, Judge Commissioner, I took both action items. One was the authority to sign the document, and two was the authority to submit the signed document to TxDOT.
Okay,
It was all,
Tax office.
it was all taken as one motion.
Got it?
that's the way we read it. Next, Mr. Vidal, the floor is yours. You want a drum roll?
Judge, Commissioners, thank you for your leadership. It's an honor to be here before you. We do have a presentation on an update on the SCOFLA program. This program started back in October of 2012. That's when they approached Mr. Armando Barrera, the Honorable Armando Barrera, County Tax Collector. And he said, we'll go ahead and do this program in the county tax office. So since then, we've been very successful. Also, throughout the years, we have incorporated some interlocal agreements with some cities. And Ms. Claudia Salinas is our specialist in scofflaw, so if you have any questions, I'll refer the questions to her. But right now, are we going to start the program? Yes. The video? So you-
The Hidalgo County implemented the scofflaw program in 2012 to improve collections for justice of the peace fines and fees, which are past due over 90 days. The program has since grown to include fines and fees for district, county court, and some cities. The scofflaw program has created collection opportunities of over $45 million in unpaid citation. The following graph breaks down the percentage of potential collections by court. The Justice of the Peace courts hold the highest at 63%, followed by the municipal courts at 25%, in addition to the district and county courts with 9 and 3%. During the lifespan of 8 years, the total fines and fees collected from scofflaw cases has surpassed $36 million. With the collections of $36 million, the following is a breakdown by court. JP courts leading the way with 62%, municipal courts follow with 19%, and the district and county courts at 12 and 7%. This is a flow chart for scofflaw collections from 2013 to 2020. You can slightly see an increase annually from all courts. When you hit 2020, however, you do see a decline in collections, and that's partially due to the pandemic, financial hardship, and the natural disasters that occurred. The scofflaw program has now surpassed 140,000 cases where the $20 scofflaw fee was collected. The scofflaw program has helped collect the equivalent of 1.16% of the total revenue for Hidalgo County. And because of the success of the program, we've had 11 municipalities sign in contract with Hidalgo County in the form of interlocal agreements. Overall, I believe the scofflaw program has been a successful tool in assisting with the collections of outstanding fines and fees by denying the registration of our Hidalgo County residents. It is with great pleasure that I introduce testimonials from the first 2 municipalities that opted to join the program in the form of interlocal agreements, the City of FAR, followed by the City of La Jolla.
Hello everyone, I'm Judge Rudy Martinez, Municipal Court Judge for the City of FAR. I've been here since 2004, and I've learned a lot because of the people that are surrounding me. We started what's called the scofflaw program back in 2015. I didn't know much about it other than the fact that it might help us to collect on monies that were already due to the court. So when we started, I wasn't too sure about its effectiveness, what it would be. But as we implemented the program with the help of the county, which really did most of the work, and it was a lot of work, and sometimes it was frustrating. Sometimes I felt like maybe I wanted to give up, but because of the counties wanting to continue and to implement the program, knowing that they knew that it would work, and in fact, it did. In fact, it had such potential at first that once it got started, we saw that the collections of the FAR Municipal Court started to rise. So much so that we no longer needed other agencies to help us collect. This program is definitely effective, and I highly recommend it. It was a lot of work for the court, and it was a lot more work for the county. It's what I saw when the program was first implemented. If there are cities out there that are wondering whether this program is effective, it definitely is. I highly recommend it.
Good morning. I'm Judge
Cristel Yvonne Rincon Flores, presiding judge here at the City of FAR Municipal Court. I started serving here in our community 7 months ago, and I'm very proud of the leadership of Judge Rodolfo Martinez. He was one of the pioneers with the City of La Jolla to say yes to the scofflaw program. Scofflaw made a big, big difference, and now we're seeing the fruits because of the team effort. The people there at the county are always available to answer any questions we may have. The people that come to the court don't come upset. They come realizing that is their responsibility. But I feel because the clerks there at the county inform them, educate them of why is it that this is going on. I highly recommend this program to all municipalities that are yet not practicing it. And I can guarantee you that you're gonna call the City of FAR and thank them for this great recommendation. I've seen the difference in 7 months. I can only imagine what it can do in years. So please consider it, please look into it, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me or anyone here in the court of the City of FAR, as well as anyone involved in the county with the scofflaw program.
Hello, my name is Esmeralda Tolar. I am currently the interim juvenile case manager. The scofflaw program has brought a lot of people to the court. We have seen an increase in the traffic. They bring their papers, we look them up in the system, they pay their dues to the court, and we take the paper, we seal it, we give it back so they can renew their vehicle registration. They come with a better understanding of the law, well educated, and it is important for them to understand that driving is a privilege, but also there's consequences to their acts, and they have to respect the law. And I have witnessed as a clerk how the scofflaw program has helped the court tremendously. Our revenue has doubled this past month, and this is a team effort. As a juvenile case manager, I have witnessed how this program has helped the people to have a better understanding of the law.
My name is Lee Alanis, and I am the presiding judge for the City of La Jolla. I've been here probably a year and a half, give or take a few days. And it's a new experience, and I do enjoy what I'm doing. Overall, I agree with the scofflaw. I think it's a good thing to have for any court. And what it is, it's a tool that courts do have to enforce collections on fines, whether there's a warrant or not. If a person has to have his license plate renewed, or license renewed, whatever needs to be renewed through the county, they cannot unless the fine is taken care of. And I think it's a good tool to have. The results have been positive. It has to be positive. And like I said, it's not something that we use to force people to pay, but I see it as a reminder for them that they do what we find. And it's up to them to take care of it or not. It's a simple thing. As far as we're concerned here, it's helping us quite a bit. And it's a good tool to have.
Judge Commissioners, if you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to
Thank you very much. I think it would be helpful for the public that doesn't know what the scofflaw is, if you could just give a quick idea of what it involves.
The scofflaw program is a program that was created by the county back in 2012. If you have some outstanding tickets, back on the October 2012, there was about 200,000 outstanding tickets that totaled about $40 million to the county. So that's why the program was created. So we have the file in the county. So when you come to our office, we'll go ahead and ask you for your driver's license, and we'll check for your driver's license, your birthday, and your name. And if it shows that you have an outstanding ticket with the county, we're going to go ahead and tell you that you need to go out to visit the Justice of the Peace, whether it be in the 8 or 5 areas here in the county. And on the cities, the same thing. We also have their file to where if there's an outstanding ticket, we'll go ahead and send you to the city of FAR, city of La Jolla, city of Alton. So it's worked. To me, it is great because if you have an outstanding ticket that you forgot about, that you had maybe back in 2000 or 2015, we'll give you that reminder. It's better that we tell you that there's an outstanding ticket versus somebody stopping you and have a warrant. They'll probably arrest you. So it's something that it's worked for us and it's worked for every municipality. So we're happy that we're working together with the county to just make sure that those monies, every taxpayer is paying their taxes, so those fees that are outstanding really help the community back. So we're actually bringing in the money, we're serving the county constituents and at the same time the cities with those fees. So that's pretty much what it is.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next
Thank you.
item.
Camera and the mics.
The next item that we have is something that the pandemic was something that was very hard for everybody, not only here in the county, but worldwide. And my chief deputy, Eva Mireles, Santos, Julio, and everybody that I depend on them to, look at the operation of the tax office and the motor vehicle, they decided that it was so important for us. We did not get a chance to close our 8 offices at one time. Why? Because if we close our offices and people decide, well, the offices are closed, and they don't bring those tax payments to the office, can you imagine if I needed to collect $200 million for the county and we only collect $150? I mean, that's gonna be very hard so we kept them open, and sometimes we did close 4 of them, but we spread them out. In October of last year, we had about 50,000 people come in throughout the county offices. In November, about 53, in December of 59,000. So the magnitude that we had when people were coming in and having to follow all the procedures, there's 3 departments that, Judge and Commissioner, your leadership, we appreciate, but the people that we had to work with every day when we had a positive case, we had to call Mr. Valdeguerra, and of course the other 3 departments that we're gonna make a presentation to them, that we're gonna honor them with what they did for us. They were out there making sure that everything was fine in our offices and our taxpayers. So I think we can hopefully start that program, and we'll go ahead and make the presentation.
Okay.
Greetings, Judge and Commissioners. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to make this presentation. This past year has been memorable in many ways. Our country, state, county, and local government has seen a lot of changes as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Blessed fully, our county tax offices were serving our communities by being fully operational for most of the year. We could not have been in operation without the help of various county departments. Every county department played a unique role during this pandemic. However, my team and I, Paul Villarreal Jr., Hidalgo County Tax Assessor Collector, would like to thank 3 crucial departments for their willingness to help our department at our time of need. Facilities Management, Human Resources, and the Health and Human Services Department, along with Executive Director Mr. Valdeguerra. From Facilities Management, we'd like to recognize Oscar Villarreal and the rest of their team. From Human Resources, we'd like to recognize retiree Raul Silguero, Erica Reina, and the rest of their team. From the Health and Human Services Department, we'd like to recognize Mr. Eddie Olivares, Josie Garces, and the rest of their team. These individuals and their teams were always available to assist my 8 offices and staff with COVID-19 related issues. I was tasked with difficult decisions to close 4 of our 8 offices during the time of the pandemic, when there were a lot of unknowns. Out of the abundance of caution, these office closures helped minimize the spread of the virus. Human Resources Department was there to provide guidance and recommend that office closures would be an option. This was an opportunity that allowed us time to gather materials and supplies from the Health and Human Services Department to ensure that sanitation standards were met. Finding the personal protective equipment through our vendors was a difficult task. Thankfully, the Health and Human Services Department was there to assist and provide what we needed to confidently reopen our offices. My office was no exception to the virus. We had numerous positive cases throughout my 8 offices during 2020 and 2021 years. We are thankful for the Human Resources Department for preparing and educating us on the proper protocols in handling these positive cases. They walked us through the uncertainty of how to handle when an employee had been in close contact with someone with a positive test. Human Resources and the Health Department set up appointments for tests when getting a test was not easily available. HR explained what paperwork was required to place our employee on emergency paid sick leave when a positive test was presented. Human Resources did not hesitate to contact facilities management on our behalf to set up a time to disinfect our offices to ensure the safety of our taxpayers and our employees. Facilities management personnel would have our offices ready for the next day, no matter if it meant that they would have to come in early or stay late. This past year has not stopped our constituents from visiting our locations. Although we offered scheduled appointments, drop boxes in every location, online services, and mail correspondence, our constituents sought reassuring one-on-one customer service. Our main goal was always to keep everyone as safe as we could during the pandemic. Through the assistance and team effort from Human Resources, Health and Human Services Department, Facilities Management, and our department, we were able to conduct temperature screening at every entrance through install plexiglass barriers at every cashier window, install two-way communicators at every available window, provide automatic and hand sanitizers, social distance markers to ensure social distances while taxpayers waited in line inside and outside of our 8 offices. I know that has not been an easy task, since their department has been stretched thin doing this new task along with everyday tasks. This was all before the flooding and freeze that caused great disruption to operations throughout the county. Facilities management was able to make sure that our offices were up and running as soon as possible. You put yourselves in harm's way for our office and other departments. At a point when our region was in the national news for being a hotspot, these departments were our front line. By the end of the 2020, when we had a confirmed COVID case, we were at a point that I was assured that we could return to full operations at our 8 offices. Facilities Management, HR, and Health and Human Services Department tirelessly helped us whenever we were at a phase where we had to halt our operations, regardless of the hour of the day or if it was on the weekend. Because of them, we always found a way to restart our operations. They assisted us in making sure our constituents and team members were as safe as we could be in times we had no answers. Human Resources and Health and Human Services Department continue to work with us to make sure continued operations are with confidence. Our employees have been given the opportunity to receive the vaccine. Our employees have been extremely grateful for this opportunity. Now that life is starting to go back to normal, it is wonderful to look back and reflect on all those who have helped us out. When times were tough, when we were afraid an outbreak in our office would be dangerous to all our team members, this department stepped up, and for that we thank you.
On behalf of the FAR Tax Office and Precinct 2, we would like to say
thank you and we appreciate you.
On behalf of the Tax Office in Elsa, Precinct 1, we greatly appreciate and thank you.
On behalf of the San Juan Tax Office, Precinct 2, we want to thank you and we appreciate you.
On behalf of the Tax Office at Alamo Precinct 2, we greatly appreciate you and thank you.
On behalf of the Tax Office in Wesco, Precinct 1, we greatly appreciate you and thank you.
On behalf of the Mission Tax Office, Precinct 3,
we thank you and we appreciate you.
On behalf of the McAllen Tax and Auto License Department, Precinct 2,
We thank you and appreciate you.
On behalf of the tax office in Edinburgh,
Precinct 4.
We greatly appreciate and thank you.
On behalf of all our team, we honor you because together
Everyone.
achieves
More.
Thank you.
Paul, you have a gender bias in your department. I didn't see too many men.
Well, Leo, Alanis, and Claudia decided that they could do this video. I'm just hoping that they don't go look for another job now. I think it come out great. So, Eva, Julio. We want to, I guess, make a presentation real quick. I know you have a long agenda, so, but we thank you for taking your time to see that. You know, that meant a lot to us. And we don't forget that you're the leaders, but we have some people that were out there. Mr. Valde, always we had to call him, and he got his team going, and so we're here to present him. We want to make this presentation to the Health Department, Mr. Eric Olivares and his team. Can you please come over?
I think in the presentation you had hair. First time I see all of them ask.
Okay, here we go. Make this presentation here to the facilities management. It's just the same. For your leadership, dedication, compassion, and courage, in sincere appreciation for your team's contribution that went above and beyond to help our Hidalgo County Tax Office through the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you for your hard work and dedication on behalf of Pablo Paul Virel Jr., PCC, Hidalgo County Tax Assessor Collector, and staff. This one here, the same presentation to the Human Resources Department for your leadership, dedication, compassion, and courage, and sincere appreciation for your team's contribution that went above and beyond to help our Hidalgo County Tax Office through the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you for your hard work and dedication on behalf of your County Tax Collector, Paul Villarreal. Get him.
The woman's been retired, he looks very
I was
calm.
activated for 1 day. I'm accepting this on behalf of the Department of Human Resources. Thank you very much, Paul.
I told him he can't go work out today, he needs to come and accept this. So if we can take a picture up in the front, I would like to do that with everyone, at least one of them with you, but all of us. They work very hard. I guess one at a time, because they're different.
Are you asking them to be in the photo?
We're gonna do one with him and then.
Okay, one, okay, get it. All right. 1, 2, and 3. One more. Alrighty. Hold.
Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. We need to put one of your pictures in all the offices too. One of the supervisors will, why does Alamo have his picture, not us?
Try to tell us. Sure. Try to tell us. It won't work for a while, but we'll fix it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hopefully we didn't take too long.
How are you? Hey, I would. The one at Ridge Road? It was only sewer, bro. Don't worry. It was leaking.
Yes, sir.
No, the one at Ridge was sewer, bro.
Improvement, suggestions?
Please do.
Thank you, sir.
Please do.
Thank you all.
Send them on ice.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is next item on the agenda is item 9A, Human Resources. Erica?
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. Erika Reina for the Department of Human Resources. Item 9A, I'm requesting a waiver of the following if applicable for the personnel items listed. I need action on item number 3, the budget amendment policy, personnel-related amendments.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 9B is discussion, consideration, and approval of the winter storm interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County and the Lower Rio Grande Valley Workforce Development Board. And item 9B2 is discussion, consideration, and approval of the disaster relief temporary employment agreement between Hidalgo County and Workforce Solutions. Judge Commissioners, these are for temporary grant-funded positions for Hidalgo County. It is 12 positions that will be located at our CSA office and our Precinct 4 office, and they will be assisting with operations related to the February winter storm. I do recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Item 10A, Mr. Olivares.
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. Eddie Olivares, Hidalgo County Health. Item 10A, requesting approval for the county judge to sign the written acknowledgement of the completion of cybersecurity training program as required by the Texas Health and Human Services Department, sir. All our staff went through the cybersecurity training as required by the grants that we have.
Motion to approve.
Congratulations. Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B is requesting approval to accept the Prevention Health and Health Services Grant, contract number 537-170-287-00001, amendment number 5. The purpose of the amendment is to add $10,416.67 to the fiscal year of 2021 period, to renew the contract for the fiscal year 2022 by adding $125,000 and extending the term of the contract to September 30th, 2022.
You want to go to number 2?
Number 2, requesting approval of the certification of revenue in the amount of $135,416.67 and the appropriations of the same.
Motion to approve 10B 1 and 2.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
This one goes, a lot of the credit goes to Mr. Rick Salinas, sir, and this is his program. He's done some fantastic work in this program, sir, and I need to acknowledge that publicly. Item C, sir, is requesting approval to accept the Regional Local Services System Local Public Health Services Grant, contract number HHS 001-0269-00001 for the county judge to e-sign all documents. And then number 2 is requesting approval of the certification of revenue as approved by the county auditor in the amount of $204,806 and appropriations of the same. That's an additional, that's our O grant, sir, just got renewed.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank
you very much,
Have a
Mr.
good day.
Olivares. Ms. Flores, Head Start Program.
Yes, item letter A is a presentation of a plan for Hidalgo County Head Start Program Outdoor Learning Environments and Discovery Park. This is a report regarding the funds that we will be using for developing outdoor learning environments in the Discovery Park. First of all, these funds were received from the federal government, and they do not require matching funds. It requires about 24 months for us to be able to use these funds for activities that are approved by the Office of Head Start. And it will not include any funding from the county. The information in the packet that you have attached to the item includes a narrative with a rationale based on research for the use of funds on the approved activity, which is the development of an outdoor learning spaces and the Discovery Park. The project is defined in 2 phases to correspond to the 2 amounts of funds that we received. There is a form attached that shows the funds, the first funds that we were notified of. We submitted an application April the 8th, 2021 for the amount of $1,110,576, and these are American Recovery Rescue, for the American Recovery Rescue Plan. Then we had, on April the 18th, we had the CRRSA, the Corona Response and Relief Supplemental Application, in the amount of $4,414,085 for a total of $5,525,661. There's a chart that shows the different activities that we're able to use the funds. One particular area that we are focusing on is, and I quote, outdoor learning and play, purchasing or enhancing outdoor learning spaces, including nature-based learning and outdoor classrooms, creating play areas and landscape features that promote exploration and discovery in a natural environment, such as plantings, gardens, and loose parts, and materials for construction and pretend play. Then we also have the fact that we would like to have a non-traditional structure in the playground. So this particular area, we have 7 acres behind our building. We've always wanted to have a park in that area. Now is our opportunity for us to be able to have learning integrated in the use of this particular park. There is a map that is also included that shows the park itself. And I will briefly discuss that map in a little while. We have phase 1, which is the CRRSA funds, will focus on construction of outdoor learning spaces at each of our 16 centers based on space availability and in collaboration with sites located in public school campuses. We're going to construct canopies that will be open on all sites except one to shade the metal roof area for instruction. It includes the purchase of 10 or more shuttle buses to transport children and purchase of computer equipment and supplies. We have found that we are not able to keep our enough bus drivers for running our buses, so we are turning to the use of shuttle buses, which do not require a CDL license and which a trained person from our program can drive, so that we will have more opportunities to be able to transport children to this facility that we have, plus to also transport children to our centers. Phase 2, which is the ARP, this particular funding is to focus on the development on the Head Start learning environments in the Discovery Park. What we will have is a construction of 7 canopies that would be the same space that we would have in a learning classroom. When we moved to the indoors, through the pandemic, we had to really streamline what we had in the classroom, and our children were void of many activities that they used to have in the socialization process and the educational process of learning centers. So we replicated the idea of having 7 centers or 7 learning areas, 7 classrooms, outdoor classrooms, where we would be able to extend teaching from the classroom into integrating outdoor nature curriculum. This particular curriculum that we will be using is in conjunction with the current curriculum, and it will be addressing all areas of instruction that we provide for children. And this curriculum is called Growing Up Wild, and it's by the Fish and Wildlife Agencies. This particular set of units really aligns closely with what we have in our classrooms, and it allows for children to explore and to actually integrate the use of of nature in teaching our kids. When we looked at what had to happen in the classrooms, our licensing does not allow for our children to be for more than an hour on a computer screen. So this allows for flexibility to go outdoors and to do so many countless things that can occur in organized instruction. We will have two trails, the outer trail and the inner trail. And inside the inner trail, we will have a playground that we hope will be a unique type of a playground. The trails, we hope to have them very much like the park trails that are at the Edinburgh Park and the Westlaco Park, which would be using crushed granite, and it would allow for us to propagate the area with local plants and environments that would promote butterflies and birds and animal life, wild animal life in that particular area in the back. We will have a large canopy, which would be able to house about 300 children, open. It's an open canopy with perhaps one side enclosed to prevent the sun from coming there. When we look at the outdoor learning spaces, the canopies, we're planning to have outdoor fans, which would be like cooling fans that would help relieve the heat so that we will be able to use our park throughout the year. We will have, of course, restrooms. We will have 2 portable classrooms that are going to be relocated from a portable building that we have in San Juan that has been without, having to use it. And so we are going to have indoor instruction too, which would include the use of technology. In this big pavilion, we will have a large screen, which would lend itself to a large group presentation for children. And again, the landscaping and the plants and the animals and the small wildlife, we want to attract and to be able to feed birds and butterflies. And we will have a small reservoir to collect rainwater. And we plan to use the park year round. We also plan to expand the use of the park to our partnering school districts for early childhood. There is no place where our children can go that is entirely targeted to the 3 and 4-year-olds in our program. And I think that this will present an opportunity for our children to really explore in more depth the areas of science and math and social studies, and also deal with mental health and the high kind of things that have restricted our children from being able to have the kind of freedom that they would have when we explore in the outdoors and in nature. I have included the first preliminary draft of a budget that is not the final draft, and that we have opportunities to be able to relocate funds to be able to do the things we need to do. And in that particular budget that we listed, we have equipment. The first, the CRSA money, which is a $1 million, that includes the canopies at the centers first. That's the first area we're going to address. And then we have also for the transportation and the shuttle buses that we'd like to purchase. We have funds in there for us to be able to secure MIS, which is computer equipment that we need. And so we think that we'll be able to do that with the first $1 million. There's also information there related to the outdoor centers at the 36 centers that we have. The outdoor classrooms at the 36 centers. Right now, we have gotten estimates, and those centers are, canopies are estimated between $15,000 to $20,000 each. And we're talking about outdoor, 3 sides open, one side enclosed, so that we can prevent the sun from coming in. And then in the second column, we have the other areas which we're looking at, other needs of the district that our program, the program had for maintenance van, for a delivery truck, for utility vehicles, and so on. We plan to bring every project or any kind of contract, of course, for your approval.
Ms. Flores?
Yes.
Yes, we thank you very much for that presentation, Ms. Flores. We saw the information and read it. We're really excited about your outdoor learning environment in Discovery Park. It's really exciting news. May I have a motion to accept it, or?
I think it was just a presentation.
It's a
Is there a
presentation.
motion required? But if you haven't had a chance
Yes,
to go through it.
our plan is to begin as soon as we're able to advertise, for us to be able to get the information if we're needing to get engineering services, architectural services, or special design services for the park and the areas out there, and for us to be able to get on with the first level of engagement, which would be at the centers, which would be starting off with the small canopies that we're planning to place at each of our centers. So
Thank you, Ms. Flores.
that's how we've laid it out. As I said, we will go as far as we can with the funds we have. We may not be able to reach every single item that we have listed, but we do plan to do the outdoor classrooms as a priority. And of course, the canopies that we have in the trails. We think that we can really maximize learning of children and engagement of parents as well as staff in a very unique way and in a very involvement kind of thing, active involvement of our children and our staff. Are there particular questions about any item here? If you'd like to, and like to meet with me individually, I'd be glad to discuss further details of our plans.
I'd just like to comment to the court that I have had extensive discussions with Ms. Flores on this, and it's, as you can tell, she's very passionate about this project, and it's a very worthwhile project, and we look forward to it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ms. Flores.
Yes, I do want to say Commissioner Torres has been instrumental in getting us to do the preliminary design that you see there in that map through the help of Mr. Tovar. She has been very instrumental in assisting us, and Dr. Culberson along the way as we moved along the process of how it is that we would formalize this particular project and be able to maximize those funds so that we would be focusing on children as our priority. And I want to publicly thank them for it. They've been wonderful. Dr. Culberson, on, and Commissioner Torres. And we are in Commissioner Torres's precinct, so this particular project is, we relied on her heavily to be able to help that we need. Thank you, Commissioner and Dr. Culberson.
Okay. We'll go item B.
Any other question?
I don't think she can hear us.
I think we're good.
Next item?
You ready to go to the next item, Ms. Flores?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We have item letter B, and it's discussion and approval to disperse the lump sum summer paychecks to staff who resign as of the last summer day or the last working day for positions assigned. For a number of years, we have allowed staff to resign at the end of their last working day for this year and paid them the summer leave, as it would give us an opportunity to advertise and secure the vacancy, any resignations or people that are planning to move on to other jobs, and so that we'll be able to work on that. So we ask to continue to do this practice, and it does need your approval.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Thank you. Then letter C is a discussion approval of the 11 program calendars for program year 2021-2022. We have one program calendar, and then we have 10 calendars, one for each of the districts that we partner with. We run 11 calendars in this program so that we can align with the districts, because attendance is very important for us to be able to continue our dual enrollment. And so we bring up these calendars to you every year, and if we have changes, we'll come back with those particular changes to you. But these are the
Second.
calendars for the 21.
All in favor, say
22.
aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much, Ms. Flores.
Thank you.
Yes, and I want to thank you for all the support that you give us and encouragement and the guidance as we move along with our program and through the pandemic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 12A, Mr. Longoria.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Jaime Longoria with the Hidalgo County Community Service Agency. Item 12A is discussion, consideration, and possible action to accept amendment number 2 to the program year 2020, the Community Services Block Grant and Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security Act, the CARES Act, contract number 612-00003346 from the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs, with authorization for Jaime Longoria to electronically sign any and all pertinent documents. Judge, Commissioners, what this does effectively is it moves the deadline for expenditures from July 31st of this year to December 31st of this year.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners. Item 12B, discussion, consideration, and possible action to accept the AmeriCorps Notice of Grant Award for the year 2021-2022 as follows. Retired Senior and Volunteer Program in the amount of $84,251. And 2, authorization for Jaime Longoria to electronically sign any and all pertinent documents. What this does, Judge and Commissioners, is it's year 2 of a 3-year grant cycle. As you well know, the Retired Senior Volunteer Program has been established well over 35 years in Hidalgo County, and this is one of the 3 CNCS Corporation for National and Community Service Programs that's offered in Hidalgo County through our partnership with them.
We have a motion and second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We're gonna skip
And
item.
just one brief announcement, if I could, please, sir. As you well know, on May the 4th, Commissioners Court proclaimed May Community Action Month. And all month long, those of us in the community action movement have been observing through various activities, really the work of community action, all of the hard work, not only through the pandemic, but through the winter storm, through fighting poverty, and through running programs like what we just talked about with CNCS. It's my pleasure to invite you all to an event on Friday, May the 28th, Commissioners and Judge. That's this Friday coming up at noon, actually at 11:30, between 11:30 and 1:30. There's some folks out there in the community that have given us a little donation as far as in-kind donations of food for our staff, really as a way of honoring our staff for the hard work and all of the efforts that they've exhibited during the past year. So I'll invite you all to come on out and join us. It will be during the staff's lunch hour, and you folks are welcome.
Thank you,
Thank
Jaime.
you, sir.
We thank you very much for that invitation. We're gonna skip item 13 until we return from executive session. There'll be some legal questions to be discussed at that
Thank you,
level.
Mr. Longoria.
So we'll go on to item 14A, the Planning Department.
Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. Jorge Garcia presenting for the Planning Department. Item 1A for preliminary approval, we have Wisconsin Estate Subdivision in Precinct 1. It is located on Wisconsin Road and Dillon Road. It is a 15 single-family lot subdivision. Subdivision is in flood zone C. Drainage will be provided by storm sewer system, and detention will be provided by the widening of the existing drain ditch. The subdivision is found in the city of Donna, ETJ, and has received approval from said city. Water will be provided by North Alamo Water Supply Corporation, and sewer by on-site sewage facilities.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 1B, El Crucero Phase 2 subdivision is located in Precinct 3 on Mile 5 Road and Texan Road. It is a 15 single-family lot subdivision. It is in the flood zone X. Drainage will be provided by natural percolation and surface runoff onto Mile 5 Road and Texan Road side ditch. It is located in the city of Mission, ETJ, and has received approval from said city. Water will be provided by Agua Sud and sewer by on-site sewage facilities.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 1C, Amber Estates Subdivision, Precinct 1. It is located on Mile 6 West Road and Mile 10 North Road. It is a 30-lot subdivision, flood zone X. Drainage will be provided by storm sewer system, and detention will be provided by widening of the existing drain ditch. The subdivision is located on the city of Westlaco, ETJ, and has received approval from said city. Water will be provided by North Alamo Water Supply Corporation, and sewer by on-site sewage facilities.
You wanna go ahead and go down the list? We'll take them all.
You want to do all the
Sure.
preliminaries at one time?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll do all the preliminaries together. Item D, Wayland Springs number 2 subdivision, Precinct 1. Item 1E, San Martin number 7 subdivision, Precinct 1. 1F, Carrizales 2 subdivision, Precinct 3. Item 1G, the District North Westlaco subdivision in Precinct 1. 1H, Eduardo's number 19 subdivision, Precinct 3.
As noted on the agenda.
Make a motion to approve 14A1C through H.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
As
Motion
listed on
carries.
the agenda? As listed on the agenda, Judge.
Thank you. Item 2A, Ocaña subdivision, precinct 1 for final approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge and Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. 15A,
15A, requesting authorization and approval to apply for water services with North Alamo Water Supply for location of ongoing roadway improvements of La Quinta Lane north of Curry Road, about 20 feet from fire hydrant within precinct 4.
Motion to approve.
Second.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item number 2, approval of payment to North Alamo Water Supply in the amount of $600 for the utility deposit and connection fee to set up water meter for location of ongoing roadway improvements at La Quinta Lane north of Curry Road, about 20 feet from fire hydrant, within precinct 4, with authority for county treasurer to issue check after review, audit, and processing procedures are completed by the county auditor.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 16A, budget and management, Mr.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Federal Approved Budget Management. Item 16A is a presentation of the 2022 budget process calendar and development criteria. Judge, Commissioners, again, we're beginning the onset of the annual budget process. We did attach the calendar and the budget criteria to the agenda. Just a quick highlights as far as this year's budget calendar. We will start with the departmental budget request beginning on June 7th. It'll be open, the budget request module will be open from June 7th through June 18th. And then we'll begin our budget workshops beginning in July 27th. I will be meeting prior to that with the court individually to go over some of the revenues and projected expenditures for the next 5 fiscal years. And I'll be visiting with the court, and then I'll have the joint workshop on the 27th where I'll go over all that information again. And then we hope to have the public hearing for consideration of the tax rate on September 7th and file our proposed budget on September 21st. And we would have the adoption of the tax rate on September 28th. That's just some of the highlights. There's still a lot going on between now and September 28th that we have to do statutorily. And that's all outlined in the calendar. I don't know if the court has any questions.
When are you gonna meet with us individually, Sergio? What date?
We'll be meeting throughout the month of July before our first budget workshop. I'll coordinate with your offices to get a good time and date to visit with you all. I anticipate that we'll probably have maybe 2 meetings. One, so that I can present the information that we're seeing based on the budget request and the estimated revenues that we'll be projecting, and then probably a follow-up meeting in case there's any questions that y'all might have individually. That way I can make sure and present all the information to the full court on July 27th.
At that meeting in July, is that also when we're gonna discuss current and future CIPs, whether they're precinct or countywide? Or will that be?
Yes, we'll discuss both the fiscal year 22 budget and then also the capital improvement plan for the next 5 years.
Share with us as you create that, give us some advance notice of that so that we have a productive meeting.
Yes, definitely. We'll make sure and provide the information a few days in advance to give you enough time to review and formulate any questions. And then also, so that you can request also any additional information that y'all might need.
Exactly.
So that, yes, we can make those meetings as productive as possible.
Thank you.
As far as on the development criteria, again, we'll be working with the same development criteria that we've had in the past. Again, we do expect a challenging budget season again, given the shortfall of the revenues that we're still expecting because of some of the closures and even especially within the courts. So we will be looking at several things. Like last year, we will be recommending or presenting the court with the amount of the cost of the salary step increases that are in accordance with the step and grade plan. We will be requesting departments to limit the new positions to only those that have justifies workload measures that have been identified. We do know that we have new courts that are coming on board, so those will be some of the new positions that we will be presenting to the court, as well as some of the new buildings that we'll be bringing online, such as the courthouse and then the McCall building that we'll be bringing online for the next fiscal year. So we'll have some of those requests. Again, we need to make sure that our budget also addresses all of the long-term debt obligations, and as well as the M&O expenses that are going to be attributed with some of those capital improvement requests. Again, we'll look at programs, departments, to make sure we can either we can reduce or combine or suspend any of those programs that are not needed to fulfill the county's mission. And of course, we want to make sure that we plan for contingencies, not only for regular contingency, but also for natural disasters and other emergencies that we know that we need to prepare for, such as flood events that we seem to have had almost every year. So we want to make sure that we're more proactive and budget some funds for those types of disasters and emergencies. And again, we want to make sure that we have that we prioritize those additional funds that are going to be needed for the next fiscal years to those items that will contribute to the achievement of the county's goals and objectives. And then, of course, as we've done in the past, we will be recommending that any grants that are going to be expiring, that any personnel that's attributed to those grants as well, that we terminate those as well. I don't know if the court has any questions regarding the development criteria that we'll be utilizing to develop the next fiscal year's budget.
All right, just another comment, Sergio. Please make sure you have Oscar Villarreal in your conversations and in your planning, because if he's not in the conversation in terms of, keeping our electricity down, our roofs planned, air condition repairs, all of that stuff planned, if he's not in the conversation, then I don't think we're planning at all. We're just reacting.
No, Judge, Commissioner, we've actually met with Mr. Villarreal and with HR. We've already been looking at the needs that the facilities management has over the next 3 years, so that we can move from a reactive type of environment to more of a proactive and a preventative maintenance standpoint. So we are visiting with them, and we will have a plan for the court to be able to recommend some additional staffing to be able to get us to a more preventative maintenance type of situation, as opposed to being just reactive.
Judge Commissioners,
Very good.
and Judge Commissioners, I have been meeting with Mr. Villarreal, so he has been putting something together for HR. But along with meeting with Mr. Villarreal, Mr. Daniel Salinas needs to be in that mix, because as Mr. Villarreal is identifying areas of improvement by way of processes that should be in place, that entails the IT aspect of it, so that we could become more efficient. Right now, as we say, we react, as opposed to having processes in place through IT that would send out alerts that this is offline or this is not functioning correctly. And so they've been communicating, and I've been communicating with them.
Very good.
Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, if I could have approval of the development criteria?
So moved.
Second. Have a motion to second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item 16B, discussion relating to existing and potential changes regarding solid waste disposal services. I do have Mr. Ray Salazar from my office to give a brief presentation. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen for his presentation.
Hidalgo County has never provided weekly trash collection service at any of our rural neighborhoods and subdivisions. Cities provide this critical service because it's necessary and easy for them to collect a monthly fee through the city residents' water bill. The county doesn't provide water or any other essential monthly utility service, and this makes this difficult for us to collect a solid waste fee from our rural residents and trash collection service. In 2014, we initiated a series of community forums across the 4 precincts to discuss modifications to the existing solid waste program. Overwhelmingly, the majority of our rural residents who attended these community forums wanted rural residential trash collection. The key, however, was ensuring that the rate was affordable and we would not be subject to sudden price escalations or increases. Eventually, the county, in collaboration with our community partners, decided that the best alternative at the time was the creation of a solid waste permit program, which we still have today. This decision was made after much dialogue with ourselves, community partners, private haulers, and other small business owners. We learned a lot. We learned that in order to ensure any modifications to our existing solid waste program are to be successful, we must exercise due diligence. We must ensure that existing laws, statutes, and local government codes enable us with options and alternatives. An example of this is Senate Bill 594, passed by the Senate and presently making its way through the Texas House of Representatives. This bill was created to help us address a billing mechanism, just like we presently do with our streetlight program. Today, we know that some of our rural residents contract with local trash companies for disposal services. Other residents buy county on our precinct collection sites. Some residents burn it, which sadly has caused numerous accidental fires, which we had a few weeks ago. But unfortunately, a growing number and alarming number of others dispose of their trash illegally in our roadside ditches and drainage canals. Our solid waste expenditures have been steadily rising. In 2020, we spent over $8.5 million addressing our solid waste needs. Judge and Commissioners, our office looks forward to working with each of you and your teams to plan, develop, and implement possible modifications to our existing solid waste program. I'd like to also continue by illustrating that currently we have 13 citizen collection stations referred to as trash collection stations spread out throughout Hidalgo County. Our expenditures, as mentioned previously, in 2020 topped $8.6 million. In 2021, we budgeted $7.5 million. In the first quarter of 2021, we're seeing close to $2 million in expenditures. Once again, illegal dumping. When we had our community forums, this was the #1 concern from our rural residents. And after it's mitigated by our precincts and our nuisance abatement teams, it continues to happen after the dump sites are cleaned. And unfortunately, this prevents storm floodwaters from flowing through our drainage ditches and canals and culverts. These are a few examples that I'll be illustrating of these clogged drainage canals and culverts. Somewhere in there, there's a culvert pipe that water should be flowing out of our neighborhoods. This is another example of a drainage roadway that eventually will clog up additional pipes. We're glad that the Drainage District was able to share some of these photos with us, but we were surprised by a lot of the images. In some cases, when they dig up the pipes, we see that the pipes are stuffed with trash that should not have been there. We started seeing refrigerators also floating and inside these culvert pipes. Same thing with couches. So we know that there has to be some modifications, and we hope that through your leadership and through our help, we'll be able to get through.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
Thank you for putting the facts out there.
Thank you.
I hope everyone understands the situation that this county is in. We're the 7th most populous county in the state of Texas. Today, we approved 200 and I wrote it down, and 79 new lots. We're putting approximately 500 lots of residential areas in the for residents in the rural areas. We'll soon have over, it seems like we had 60,000 lots in the rural area. We'll soon be at 70,000, and the people have no ability to have garbage and trash pickup like municipalities have. Why don't you see this problem in the municipalities? Well, because they have a service, unlike the rural areas which have no service. There's a cost of picking up trash. The question is, who should pay to pick up your trash? Well, we think that you who produce the trash should pay to pick up your trash. And we're trying to find relief. When we're having to use money for this purposes here, that means that we have less money to put on other services that we need to provide people. We want to serve the people, and the people are asking us for the service. We want to have the mechanism to do so. That's why this bill was so important to us.
Yes, Judge, as you mentioned, these are services that our rural residents are asking, and they're aware, and they agree that, that they should be, that they should be the ones paying, and they supported that Senate Bill 594 that would allow us to assess that fee for service in the tax statement. That just makes it a convenient way for us to be able to assess that fee for the service that they'll be receiving. And we hope to be able to work with the court and work with the residents as well to be able to achieve a good resolution for our residents in our rural communities.
Okay, and anyone have any other comments before we move on?
I just had a question for Ray as far as the changes regarding the disposal services that we do offer. I know I've been asking about that for quite some time now. Changes to the permits and what's allowed at the recovery centers that we currently have. Just wondering when that's gonna come to us.
Yes, ma'am, we've made the necessary changes, and we're presently circulating these changes to the rest of the precincts, and we hope that we'll have a comment period with the rest of the precincts, that if we have no changes, then we'll proceed at the next scheduled Commissioners Court meeting.
I would like to see it on the agenda for the next Commissioners Court, please.
I think we're ready for
Yes,
it,
ma'am.
Ray. Yes, sir.
Yes, we did discuss it this Monday at the Chiefs of Staff's meeting. I think there was only one slight modification. So we'll circulate that red line on that one line item. And I think I think we did have consensus. It was just that slight modification on basically the limit of being able to go and dispose of the trash on a monthly basis there at each collection station. We just want to make sure that we have it to where it'll be for, to observe the respective precincts limits. So we should have that on for next Tuesday, Commissioner.
Okay, thank you.
Judge Commissioner, if there are no other questions, I'll move on. There's no action needed on that item.
Yes, go ahead.
Item 16C is discussion, consideration, and action to approve the ratification of necessary CARES Act relief fund expenditures as listed on Exhibit A to cover costs not accounted for in the current budget and cannot be lawfully funded by line item, allotment, or allocation in connection with the ongoing COVID-19 public health emergency. The court, having reviewed the agenda item briefing, herein finds that such expenditures are reasonable and necessary for the intended use. And Judge Commissioners, the expenditures that we have total $29,787.14. And therefore, computer and software equipment for telework, and also some other COVID-19 response, such as promotion items that we need to, so that we can make sure we inform the residents of the current status as far as on the orders. So we do have other expenses there as well. We do recommend approval.
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 16D1 is approval of 2021 appropriation of funds from the Road and Bridge unassigned fund balance for Precinct 1 Road and Bridge in the amount of $353,038.84. We do recommend approval.
So move. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 16D2 is approval of 2021 appropriation of funds from the Road and Bridge unassigned fund balance for the Precinct 3 Road and Bridge programs in the amount of $850,927. We do recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And item 16D3 is requesting approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $423,450.48. And this is for the Edinburgh Consolidated Independent School District and the Lynn San Manuel Veterans Park, and appropriation of the same. We do recommend approval.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
Thank you very much.
Good
Purchase-
afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Marty Salazar for the Purchasing Department. 17A1, Hidalgo County Commissioners Court's direction in connection with professional real estate services options. A, action to proceed to execute to exercise Hidalgo County's one-year extension option as provided under the current agreements for professional real estate services with A, Coldwell Banker Commercial RGV and Mary Lou Henry Real Estate. Or B, allow the current agreements to expire, they expire on June 1st.
What is the pleasure?
So moved.
A or B?
Oh,
Second.
I'm sorry.
Give me the motion to what?
Aren't we just renewing both of them? Like,
Your option.
That's option one.
Extend for a year or allow them to expire.
Option 1A.
I mean, I would say,
1AA.
I would say extend for a year just in case we need someone.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Going on to item B, precinct 1.
Ms. Marty, just for,
1A, request
Ms. Marty.
acceptance and approval of interlocal cooperation agreements between the County of Hidalgo.
Ms. Marty,
Marty, hold on just a minute.
for the record, Counselor, there was no action then on the second part B.
Right.
Thank you.
Lowercase b, no action.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'll repeat it. B1 for precinct 1, request acceptance and approval of the interlocal cooperation agreements between the County of Hidalgo, precinct 1, and the following cities 1 through 9 as posted on the agenda.
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B, in accordance with section 791-014 of the Texas Government Code, requesting approval of the interlocal agreements in desires to assist each other in multiple projects. An agreement in which the cities and the county would benefit from the outcome of the work by decreasing cost of services and increasing the quality of life for both citizens of the county and the city.
So move.
Recommend.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 2 is acceptance and approval to execute Amendment 2 between Hidalgo County and Architect Alvarado Architects and Associates for the redesign of the new construction documents in the amount not to exceed $28,000 described in the document for Sunset Park Operations Facility under Precinct 1's project.
So move. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item C1 is Precinct 2, acceptance and approval to execute the final form of professional engineering services agreement for the provision of on-call professional engineering services with B2B Engineering for projects located in the precinct, subject to all compliances which I believe have been met.
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item D1 for Precinct 4, requesting approval to enter into a 12-month service agreement with Driscoll Health Plan for the purpose of assisting the residents of Hidalgo County with education and training to increase families' awareness of health topics and promote long-term development of healthier habits through the Health and Education Literacy Initiative through Hidalgo County's Precinct 4 as the primary contact.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
E1 is for the tax office. This is presentation of the qualified responsible vendor, the Master Touch LLC, submitting the lowest and best bid for the purpose of award of the contract for the bid title, printing and mailing of tax statements. We recommend approval.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Juan.
Judge, Commissioners, if I may, item 18. There is no action to be taken on item 18.1 and 18.2 this week. Item 19, Judge Commissioners, we will take up after closed session.
Okay, pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Codes under Sections 551.071, .072, .074, and .087, will be retired to closed session to take those items into consideration. Any action items to be taken will be taken in open session when we return. I have a motion to do so.
So move.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. It is 4 minutes after 4. Okay, we're back from closed session. It's 4:29. We do have some action items.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners. Under item 22A, open session, real estate. Real estate acquisition appropriation for same, there's no action to be taken today. 22B, pending under potential litigation, there is no action to be taken. 22C, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding response to public health emergency. Judge Commissioners, I will refer to item 19 in a minute or so. And then, Judge Commissioners, in open session, you have 22D, discussion, consideration, and action regarding employment appointment of Human Resource Director.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Erica Reina as the Human Resources Director with
A grade step of 21-3.
Second.
21-3.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, if I may, item 19, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding A, county response to disaster health emergency, 1, CARES Act funds. A, Third Amendment to CARES Act interlocal cooperation agreement with UTRGV.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 19B, measures necessary to preserve public health and safety. Judge Commissioners, there's been some action taken. And item 19C, direction regarding county government operations, including but not limited to essential functions. Judge Commissioners, we continue to do what we do with respect to the health and safety of our residents and our employees, providing the services to our residents and the constituency of Hidalgo County. There has been some updated CDC guidelines. The court has taken appropriate measures and steps last week, along with the Governor Abbott's GA 39 order. And so with that being said, again, we do continue to encourage our constituents to wear masks. We are not mandating, but we encourage them to wear masks as we do the same with our employees. And again, I will continuously work with HR and our facilities manager to address any concerns with our facilities and our employees. So Judge Commissioners, I'd like to also, for the record, 21A, no action. 21B, there is no action. For the record, item 23, there is no action, closed session. There's no need to go back. And 24, open session, there was no action as there's no need to go back to closed session.
We need to go back to item 13A. I have a motion to approve item 13A.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I have a motion to go ahead and approve the hire in the bigger staff, those lawyers to assist the elections department.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I believe that concludes all of our agenda items.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. As always, thank you very much, Commissioner.